Okay, this is the filling. I'm going to be using brown sugar. You can use whatever you want. You don't need to use brown sugar. I'm going to be using maple syrup because that helps me paint it across the dough and makes everything kind of slide easier. I'm going to use almonds because I have a boatload of them. You can use whatever nuts you want. Of course, we love walnuts. And also dried apricots, dried cranberries, cinnamon, and cloves. Now, here's a little tip while you're getting the rest of your stuff together. And I'm just going to cut these apricots in quarters. I already measured them, so I know that I have a cup. But while I'm cutting these, and I put my dried cranberries in hot water. So it's going to puff them up a little bit. That'll be really good. Now we're ready for our filling. So here is my brown sugar and my apricots. And I used 1/4 plus 1/8 teaspoon of cloves. I like a little bit more clove flavor. But you may want to just, lighten up on it depending on who you are. Okay, I'm putting in some applesauce, again to help make it easy to put across the bread, you'll see. And then I'm putting in a 1/2 cup of maple syrup. And I chopped my nuts on the food processor. And I did it all by pulsing. So pulse it, because you want to make pretty much minced nuts. They want to be minced. Now I'm just draining my cranberries. So I'm putting those in there. And they've plumped up a little bit, which is great, so they're not going to be like rock hard. And now I'm just going to mix this all together, and then I'm going to get the bread ready. Some people say, why don't you make the filling first before you make the bread? Or make it while the bread is rising the first time. Actually, once you punch around bread for a while, it really needs to just relax. I don't know why, I just do, and it works, so I don't change it. Okay, take your dough and divide it into 4 pieces. That's easy enough to do. Twist that half off, and then this. Now, on a lightly floured surface, take your rolling pin. Okay, roll it into a 12 by 8 rectangle, and that's sort of rectangular. You're going to take 1/4 of your filling, and you're going to put it on the dough. You're going to leave about 1 inch from the edge. Now, starting at this long end, and I kind of pull this stuff a little bit, you want to flip it over, squeeze it. It's kind of like the cinnamon rolls that I was making for Thanksgiving. Squeeze it, and you want to squeeze it over. See, I squeeze it over the top. So there's nothing there. And now I'm just going to pinch that fold together. Now you've got this thing that's straight, and now you're going to put it together and turn it into a little wreath. And squeeze together this end part, okay? And you can even put a little bow on there if you want to. And then on the diagonal, you're going to cut this thing about every 1.5 to 2 inches. And even if you can, help it pull apart. The cuts are fairly deep. They're fairly deep. But now if you open it up a little bit, you'll see all that gooey yummy inside, and everyone will want one. And now you just put it on your pan, okay? You can even also cut it. I'll show you how I cut this one. Okay, take a good sharp knife and you cut them down the center, okay? Then you twist it. You twist it open. Now this can get kind of gooey, kind of slimy gooey. But anyway, you twist it, which kind of looks groovy, and then bring it around and stuff the end inside. Now again, you take your knife and you go around and you do some cutting. You open it up All right? And these get nice and open and gooey, and everybody just wants to eat them. Put them back and let them rise again to double their size. These are the second ones. These are the first ones, which these have already begun to rise. So these are probably going to rise for about 40 minutes. These are going to rise for an hour. Did you remember to turn on the oven? Put them in for about 25 to 30 minutes. Okay, so I just cut them, and I'm going to taste this one. Oh my gosh. The clove is perfect. It's like coffee cake, but not coffee cake, but just yummy. I will not eat the entire loaf right now. Maybe.